getting started, just wanted to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands on which we're all working and living in today. We extend our respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. For a lot of us here, it's the Wurundjeri people. But if you're dialing in from a different location around the country, let us know in the Zoom chat below. So today's agenda, going to just give you a bit of background. Katie's going to lead that on Boomerang Labs. Then I'll get started with some more in-depth information about the Basecamp program. And at the end, we'll have a bit of an opportunity for discussion and questions. So, Katie, handing over to you.
Great. Thanks, Taylor. I'm just going to spotlight myself as well so people can see me, not just looking into the abyss. But yeah, hi, I'm Katie. I'm the General Manager here at Boomerang Labs. And we're joined we're a small but mighty team at Boomerang Labs. We're Australia's first circular economy innovation and startup accelerator, which basically means we saw a gap in the offerings and the market in terms of startup supports and accelerators and incubators for circular economy businesses. You know, there's a lot of support out there now, which is fantastic. The ecosystem's come a long way since we were made in 2019. But we saw a real gap in supporting these quite different innovative businesses that are potentially more infrastructure or equipment heavy or more reliant on the behavior change side, not quite as scalable necessarily or as quick growing as many of the other startups we see in the ecosystem. So we're really keen to provide support through programs and coaching to people that are trying to do business a bit differently. As I mentioned, I'm General Manager. Sorry, Taylor. Taylor's here. He's leading our program for the Basecamp, which we're kicking off, and you're here to hear about, which is fantastic. We're also joined by Piers, who's online as well. He's the co-founder and director of Boomerang Labs, and you'll also, I'm sure, have received emails at one point or another from Alison, our comms manager. Thanks, Taylor. So at Boomerang Labs, we provide support at all stages, all growth stages of businesses in circular economy, from the ideation phase, which is where our Basecamp program sits, through to scaling and commercialization, where we do our full accelerator, 6 months long comparison. Across this spectrum of programs that we run, we also make sure that we're providing support for all different business models. Not only are you by being a circular economy startup creating a new product necessarily, but often you're creating all different types of revenue streams that are quite innovative. So this is just one way of explaining different business models we see through circular economy, but there's lots of different explanations for it. This is just a way that we like to explain the different types as aligned with the R strategies: your reuse, recover, reduce, recycle, and all those. So these are the main, and of course we always have a category called other because as we're saying, things are new, these are brand new ideas. There's always going to be different ways to do business, even beyond any academic or research or studies that we can reference. Thanks, Taylor. So in supporting different business types, we're also, of course, industry agnostic. So these are just some examples of the alumni we have supported through Boomerang Labs to demonstrate the breadth of impact and pushing the areas that have been supported through Boomerang Labs programs. So on the screen here, you see Recycle, actually a Melbourne-based business. Belinda looking at textile recycling. Bear Hug Pallet Wrap started in Sydney, bringing international technology to Australia, and also now expanding to Queensland and maybe Victoria soon, if I remember correctly. New Rock, which is a manufacturing-based business in the Hunter region of New South Wales. River Medical looks at medical waste, but not just in your single-use masks and, you know, small components. They're actually looking at the equipment side, which is often untouched in the conversation for circularity, but really, really important in driving outcomes and reducing waste and emissions. Devolver is takeaway, a reuse system, and software. Utilitarian is a really fantastic communications platform, and Food to Soil looks at creating a microbially alive biofertilizer out of commercial food waste. So part of our job here is to be a bit of a cheerleader for people that we support, but also this just goes to show the different 7 different uh, industries, sectors that we've supported, and that just grows and grows. I think we're at 60 or 70 startups now that we've had through our programs. Really exciting time for Boomerang Labs and Victoria right now. We're doing a few programs in the area. The first one is the Basecamp that you're hearing more about today, which is really broadly looking at that ideation phase for different circular economy businesses. Would you have an emphasis on social impact? Because we do think that by doing good for the environment, we can still create a very viable, commercially viable business that has really great social outcomes. As this is funded by the City of Melbourne, which Taylor will touch on, it does mean that programs only open to people in the Greater Melbourne area, and we've listed on our website the suburbs of that limit. The RMIT relaunch program is funded by Launch Vic, and we're really excited to be a partner of that program too. Similar phase, they're looking at ideation phase as well as a pre-accelerator, which is that next growth stage along. Also looking at circular economy, but relaunch is really focused on those tech-driven solutions. And as I said, as it's funded by LaunchVic, it's available for all of Victoria. So today we're talking about the Basecamp, but we do want to make sure it's really clear that these are 2 programs that we're running at the moment. We're always open for a conversation with you about what might be the right program for you. Take it away, Taylor.
Unmuted now. Good. I'll take it from there. Thanks, Katie. So for us, this Basecamp program, it's for those of you who are at an early stage in the startup journey. So we have a range of people who are coming to us wanting to take part in this program. Perhaps you're just getting started, or you've got a business idea, or maybe nothing at all, but you're just interested in the circular economy space. This program is all about prompting creativity and building the platform to develop business skills inside an innovative industries. So for us, the success metric isn't going to be about having 8 businesses come out of the program. It's about having 8 empowered participants with new learnings who are interested in engaging with the circular economy. In some cases, further validating the business model and realizing that you need to move on to your next business idea without spending more time and money is the best option, and it should be celebrated if that's the eventual outcome of the program. So why is the Basecamp program worthwhile when I'm at the start of my startup journey? Being part of the Basecamp program means that you're going to have a structured approach as you build out your idea into a business. You won't be on your own. You'll have weekly sessions to connect with a community of like-minded entrepreneurs and an extensive mentor network to lean on. Starting your business with the right foundations will make scaling easier as the time comes. And personally, for me, working on several businesses solo, and those of you who are out there who have or are currently running businesses solo, you'll know that it can be pretty isolating starting without any safety nets or support. So the beauty of this program is knowing that you aren't on your own. You do and will have a network who you can rely on and are going to support you along the way. So each session is going to run weekly over a 6-week period. And as Katie mentioned, thanks to the City of Melbourne, we're actually able to offer this Basecamp to founders in Melbourne and the surrounding areas at no cost. So you can actually have a look on our website on the program page for what constitutes the boundaries of the wider Melbourne region. And the structure of the session will see up to 2 guest speakers each week, complementing the weekly content. So through the following week after the session, you'll have the opportunity to build on your understanding of the course content, seek introductions to expert and mentors from our ecosystem beyond what you cover in the session. And at the end of the program, you'll have the opportunity to build out your roadmap for success and pitch your idea at a showcase event, which again will include the wider ecosystem of Boomerang Labs who are interested in the circular economy. So these here are a few of the topics that we go over in the program. always open to ideas if there's any other things in particular that you'd like to cover during the program that you think is going to benefit you and the cohort as a whole. We do understand that each cohort does take on their own personality, so we're happy to cater for that. But you'll notice that from these topics, it's very focused on the ideation phase, so that you can come out the other side from your idea confident about the next steps that you need to launch that initial idea or interest that you come to us with. To be clear, we don't expect you to be launching by the end of week 6, but it's really putting you on this good path to that stage. So this Basecamp program, it's the first program in our suite. Perhaps down the line, you may be interested in the bootcamp program that we do. And the Basecamp's all about building strong business foundations specific to the circular economy. There's a lot of skills that all businesses have in common, but there's also others that are specific to the circular economy. And that's why this program is focused on those areas. So you'll have a look there at Module 2, Circular Economy Overview, where we'll delve that little bit deeper into the foundations for a startup idea in the circular economy. You'll also notice that each topic builds on the previous area. So starting with just the entrepreneurship and ideation, working through to finalizing your idea before finally building out your value proposition. So as mentioned earlier, this program is for those of you in the Greater Melbourne region. So go to our website, have a look at that and see if you're able to apply. And when we're actually assessing the applications that you put forward to us, we're looking for 3 key criteria. So they are skill, spirit, and hustle. Very important when you're starting your own business. And when we're looking at skill, the criteria we're assessing is, do you have problem-solving capabilities or a specific skill or unique experience that you can leverage to create a unique offering? For spirit, it's more, are you driven, persistent, disciplined, comfortable with ambiguity and not afraid to take calculated risks? And for hustle, which is every entrepreneur really, it's making sure that you can find a way to get something done unconventional, especially because there's no written rules for what you're doing here. Are you able to, for example, convince someone to trial your products for the first time? So you can have a look here at the key dates for the program. You'll note that the showcase date is to be confirmed, but we've got that earmarked for the week starting 18th of October. November. So today's obviously the info session. Applications will close 7th of October, and we'll get started shortly after that with our first Friday session. After the showcase, the week immediately following, that's when we'll start to work to build out that roadmap together. So I'll just handball to Katie here, who was closely involved with our previous Basecamp program, to speak about some of the success stories.
Yeah, thanks, Taylor. These are some really great examples from our last cohort to, I guess, explain the different types of people that do participate. Taylor alluded to some, reasoning behind participating, but Intact and Recheck, quite different businesses at the forefront, I guess, or I guess in that first module to module 6. Intact is a slow fashion brand based in rural New South Wales, created by Gabby and Sam, co-founders who grew up on a sheep farm. They came to us with their brand already created, already selling products, wool-based products, and they came to us because they wanted to add an additional offering onto their business. It is a small business, we couldn't get a large corporation involved with the Basecamp is not appropriate for them. But for a small business that's trying to bring on a different aspect, a different circular aspect, this is a really great course. Recheck is another great example of a business that doesn't necessarily fit that I've got a business idea week 1, I've got a business ready to launch in week 6. The founder of Recheck got a lot out of our program, but a lot of pivoting too, which I think is a really good point from Taylor earlier about, I guess, what success looks like. And it's about creating that empowerment and not necessarily having to go on a straight line path from your original idea to where you land. the founder of Recheck, joined our program with one idea in mind and then realized through the market research and through the discovery process that what they were looking for was basically out there or not necessarily needed. So Recheck is the next iteration of the program, of the business, sorry, the business idea, and is creating a really fantastic offering that is more aligned with the actual market needs. So yeah, they're the two examples, hopefully to inspire some other people to feel like this program aligns with them.
Thanks, Katie. So there's no pressure to come to us with a developed business plan. In fact, it's not the expectation whatsoever. The program is designed for beginners, and we're here to help you shape your business idea. Having the idea itself is helpful, but you don't need to have everything figured out. At the end of the day, we're here to facilitate you getting as much out of the program as you can. Um, there'll be some weeks and there'll be some participants who are willing to put up to 20 hours a week into it. There'll be others who come along to the sessions, follow the course content. At the end of the day, there's no pressure or expectation, but you're going to get out of the program what you put into it. So we acknowledge that everyone is at different stages and is able to commit at different levels. The sessions themselves, they're online. It will go over a 6-week period and they run from Fridays from 9 a.m. to midday. And as mentioned, there will be a showcase or a networking event at the end of the program, and that will give you a really good opportunity to make real world connections, but also a great chance to actually demonstrate your knowledge that you've built over the whole program from that idea into developing the value proposition. So the beauty of the online format for us is that it's going to give you the opportunity to slot it into your existing schedules. You'll be able to join from anywhere. If you're traveling for work often, you'll still be able to join. And it also means that we can get mentors who are the best at their game from around the country to speak to each of you. So it's going to really help with those networking and educational opportunities. So shortly, we'll have a moment for questions, but if you are interested in this program, the applications are going to close on the 7th of October. And if you head over to the Boomerang Labs site, you'll be able to apply directly from it. If you're not able to join or apply for the program, you can scan this QR code below to help us promote the program across socials like LinkedIn. And you can get involved in other ways. You can become a mentor or consider speaking in one of your areas of expertise at a session. If that interests you, you can get in touch. And same goes for attending the showcase. You can just email us. There is my email address on the final slide, which you can jot down.